All right, guys, I'm really excited about tomorrow's race, and I figured, why not, in my busy schedule, fart out some content so I can help process and integrate this excitement versus imploding in my own living room by myself. So this is my first time watching the MotoGP season straight through, and there's so much drama. And when I say drama, I mean Honda drama. I mean Marc Marquez drama. I mean, it's kind of fun to watch this all happen in real time. It's not the first time. Racing is inherently super dramatic, and I'm here for it. It's why we all love to watch it. So what is happening at Honda? Marc Marquez, with 14 crashes, has yet to complete a race in the 2023 season. And there's a lot to talk about here, and I'm going to keep this real brief and real short so I can edit it as quickly as possible. So Honda had 3 out of 4 riders injured before we went on summer break. We had Juan Mir with only 5 points this 2023 season and 12 crashes. Alex Rins is currently 13th overall, but has been out for months with a fractured right leg that he got from a sprint race at the Italian GP. Also, it has just been announced that Alex Rins is leaving Honda for Yamaha, and this is the second Repsol Honda rider to walk away from Honda mid-season in 3 years. Sorry, I'm sweating like a pig! It's just Texas in August. Don't worry about it. So what's going on here? For all those blaming the RC213V, then why is Alex Marquez second when it comes to how many times he's crashed in the 2023 season? What does that sound? By the way, he's on a Ducati. So many sounds. Sure, we know that Honda is very far behind when it comes to aerodynamics, but I can't help but wonder what it would be like if Honda ushered in a new crew of young riders. Would they be able to tame the beastly Honda bike? Or are the bikes really that unstable in the rear and it would take some sort of strange alien magician to wrangle it in on the track? Without physical sacrifice, mind you. Either way, it seems like what we are witnessing in real time is the alternate depressing reality that nobody hoped for. An impressive MotoGP legend whose racing psyche was completely altered by a life-changing injury that ended up exposing the underbelly of a manufacturer who cannot keep up with the European competition. But Marc Marquez is no quitter. It's why we love him, it's why we hate him, it's why people love to hate him, it's why people love to love him. From what I can tell, people either love him or they hate him. It's strange. His aggressive riding style obviously translates to how he maneuvers in this reality, and he's refusing to let this particular timeline die. But I can't help but think that he ultimately didn't take enough time to recover. Not just physically, but more important, mentally. I mean, how many tenths of a second can you shave off your time when you are fearless and confident on the track? And for the first time in 2 decades, one manufacturer is going to dominate the top 5 spots. But funny enough, Honda held this record in 2003. In conclusion to this segment of a MotoGP noob like myself, I have more questions than I have answers. Does Marc Marquez know how to give good feedback on a bike? It's hard for me to sit here and ponder somebody who's dedicated their entire life to racing, but it still makes you think that there is this special marriage between Marc and Honda, and you gotta wonder why. And does anybody else want to see Marc Marquez on, a Ducati or a KTM? Or even an Aprilia? Will there be LCR Husqvarna in the future? And last but not least, can we please just all find some sort of European Elon Musk to fund a sprint race where everybody is on an RC213V? I desperately just want to see that. It will end the discussion once and for all. And for the second half of this video, and my own little intellectual, cerebral decompression valve that you guys like to watch because you're freaks. 2-time MotoGP champion Casey Stoner was recently at the Goodwill Festival of Speed, and he brought up some interesting points that I've thought about myself before. He states, in regards to the current Clone Wars style era of MotoGP, and I quote, "I'd like to make some changes," he said. "Winglets gone, ride height devices gone, anti-wheelie gone, traction control cut to a safety level and nothing more. Half this shit needs to go, needs to come down. There needs to be a cap on the rules that's there for at least 10 years so that manufacturers can reasonably catch up to each other and not keep moving this imaginary rule system It doesn't seem to be there. Not only does this stuff cost a lot to develop, it costs a lot when they crash it, and it's not just blowing budgets out of proportion. Look at the ride height device. If everyone's got it and everyone's doing the exact same thing, get rid of it. Let people make mistakes coming out of corners. We don't want a single bike championship. We want differences. The only thing we can do these days is brake later, take more risks on the front end trying, and then you see big crashes because everyone is pushing so much in the corners. So this begs the question as I melt here. What are we chasing in the world of racing? Are we just tech junkies who are looking for the best bike on the grid? The best manufacturer per se? Or do we want to reverse the technological progress that we have made and just showcase a rider's skill? I mean, have you even seen MotoGP footage from as recently as the early 2000s? You had to have big ass cojones to ride those bikes. Sure, the riders were different, but so were the lasting effects of their crashes. Personally, I'm not a fan of the ultra homogenized future as we strive towards GP bike singularity. But turning back the clocks too much doesn't feel right. And if there's anything my metaphysical background has absolutely instilled in me, it's the righteous importance of balance. Stop the pendulum of duality from swinging so far from one side to the other. It's really only the way to accelerate our evolution as a superior and fast species. Dirty. Is this sexy? Come watch a pig sweat and talk about MotoGP. Oh, I do this to myself. Our evolution as a superior and fast species. Species.